Yeah, How to Be a Sinner, provocative title. And I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, I don't need a book to tell me how to be a sinner. I'm doing that fine on my own. So if you run into me, you can, that question's already been asked me. I've always written the books that I need to read, or that I want to read. And in this case, it was simply that I was struck by how often in the language of the church that I love so much, we are singing or reading or praying prayers that refer to us ourselves as sinners, or even they put it worse: I am a wretched sinner. I have made a disaster of my life. And now I've grown up in the church, trusting and loving the church. I've, by God's grace, never apostatized from the church. So I have a trust that if the church is putting this language in front of me, there must be a really good reason. It must be for my salvation, because that's what the church is about. So I set to kind of exploring how this language, which to many modern sensibilities, it sounds like, hey man, you're being so negative, just so much of society is telling us, accept yourself as you are. That's the message of every single Disney movie that was ever made, be true to yourself, accept yourself. And in a way, it's not a bad message, but it's also a very flawed message, because there's something about myself that's also broken that I shouldn't just accept, So those are the kinds of thoughts I began having, and did a lot of reading, a lot of conversations with people, prayer about this subject. And that's how the book came about. The church is inviting me to consider my own identity as a sinner. What does it mean to inhabit that identity, to own that identity in a non-self-destructive way? And I hope you ask me what some of the answers might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll take that as a question.
Please.
Long story short, I think our understanding of ourselves as sinners and as lost have to be met with our increasing understanding of God's love, of God's mercy. That, we say in many of the liturgical prayers, thine it is to have mercy on us, which is a way of saying, well, this is what you do. This is who you are. You are the God who reveals himself to us in his crucified Son, crucified for us and for our salvation. As far as the heavens are from the earth, so far as he removed our sin from us. That is stunning. And so, you don't want to go the opposite direction from self-destruction. The opposite direction would be like, oh, well, if God forgives, then I can really do whatever I want. It's in the bag. Well, you don't want to go in that direction either. I mean, I think so as often in the spiritual life and in the life of the church, you're called to this balance, to walking a delicate balance that acknowledges that I, left to my own devices, am indeed a wreck. And I surrender that. I name it, I own it, and I surrender it to God. And in that surrender, I also pledge that I'm going to work at amending my sinful life. But all of this in and through the church with other sinners. We use the first person plural very often when we ask God's forgiveness on us. We also use the first person singular, have mercy on me. And so in the church, I'm always an I among other I's who are together a we, who is in the boundless gratitude for God's boundless mercy. Now, you don't need to read the book, so.